This morning in our Consumer Confidential, a subject that can be confusing and stressful. How do you know when it's time to hire a lawyer? Whether you're starting a business, buying a house, you may need one on your side, but where do you even start? Here to help guide us, Sara Azari, criminal trial attorney in Los Angeles, also host of the wildly popular podcast, The Presumption.
Don't you know the other person?
Jim Griffin's here. So with my buddy Jim, you carry the show.
Disclosure.
Full disclosure, you
I
carry
try.
So, I mean, listen, you watch Law and Order, you watch Suits, you might think you know a little bit of something about law, but the reality is we don't. So how do we know when it's time to actually hire someone like you?
I think that the rule of thumb is that if you're wondering whether you need a lawyer, you need a lawyer. You need to at least have a consultation. These days, they offer you 30 minutes for free. You could do it by Zoom. And I always say, don't mess with the 3 L's: life, liberty, and liability. Talk to a lawyer.
Life, liberty,
Okay,
and liability.
Good.
So you can, there's some things you can do yourself and some things you need a lawyer for. What are the things you need a lawyer for?
So you definitely need a lawyer if you're setting up an estate or, wills and trusts and things like that. They're so nuanced and they deal with your life's worth of property and assets. You need a lawyer for marrying and divorcing. So I always say, look, marry up so you don't need a prenup. But if you do need a prenup, not only you need a lawyer, but your spouse needs a lawyer too. So you need two. It's kind of costly.
Okay.
When you're divorcing, you also need a lawyer because you might have children at issue, child custody issues, alimony, division of property. You need a lawyer. You also need a lawyer, for example, for purchasing a home. It's only a couple hours of the lawyer's time, but there's all these fine print waivers in there. What if your home blows up? I mean, and you've waived your claim. Expunging criminal records is another example. And then, of course, if the popo knock on your door, you're under investigation or you're charged.
Is that a legal term?
I haven't heard that in a while.
I've been saying police for so long, it's now
The
popo.
popo.
You definitely need a lawyer,
help.
and one will be appointed to you if you can.
And then what could
Yeah.
you do on your own?
So look, you get a traffic citation. It's not worth getting a lawyer. Go to court, set it for trial. If the cop shows up, then you can ask for a lesser fine. If he doesn't, the case is dismissed. You also don't need one for a living will, which we all need for, end of life sort of circumstances. It's a form that's available on all the legal aid platforms like LegalZoom, for example.
Right.
You don't need a lawyer for that. Also, if somebody's injured as a result of a car accident in your home or your business, that's what you're paying money to the insurance company.
It's like all the TV commercials.
Oh, we see all the commercials
Yeah, I was
that
just
say,
gonna
oh,
say,
no,
that's
don't
right.
go with the insurance, get a lawyer.
No, that's a scam. You call your insurance company, you make a claim, and then they use their lawyers to basically
Okay.
defend
All right.
you.
Oh, well, that was my question. You asked it. So if you're looking to
Oh, they
find an
stole your
attorney,
question.
I know he did. So I was
No, he
like,
didn't.
Johanna says Jones.
Oh, okay.
All right. So if you're looking to find an attorney, talk about how you find a good attorney.
So look, the first thing you do, we're like doctors, we have specialties, right? So you first figure out what kind of lawyer you need, and you can go to Google for that, figure it out. Then the best referral comes from other lawyers that you've liked and used, or family and friends who've had lawyers. So you go to them and say, hey, I need this kind of lawyer. Who do you think I should call? And then set up 3 consultations. This is a relationship. This requires trust, communication, some level of compassion and caring. Talk to the lawyer about their experience and expertise. Talk to them about your problem.
Are there
how they're
legal fees up front, or do you wait? Well, the commercials say
Well, there's
you can
all
wait
kinds
until
of
you get
legal
I
fees.
know.
Oh, lots of fees.
But you also get a chance to ask about their rates, So you need to make an informed decision, and you need to speak to as many as you can.
Is there a standard, like agents sometimes are 10% or whatever. For attorneys, is there any
No,
kind
girl.
of standard?
It depends on the situation.
But do you always get what you pay for?
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
You do.
Usually.
You really do. You really do.
Spoken like a true Italian.
Listen, I think if you're paying too little, and
You get
all
what
the
you
other
pay
guys
for.
are quoting
That's
you a lot,
fair.
that's a
You
red
might get
flag.
What
what you
happens
pay
if
for.
you're in with this attorney and then you don't like them,
Well, you can get rid of them. That's, you have the right to fire an attorney at any time for any reason. You don't even have to give a reason. But the most important thing your viewers need to know is that everything you have said to that lawyer is privileged and confidential. So it doesn't matter if you hate me, you cuss me out, you don't hire me, you don't pay me. I can't go around and talk about your private
good.
information regarding your case.
Thank you, Sarah. That was great.
you, Sarah.
Thanks for coming
Such a
in.
pleasure to be with
good.
you guys.
Me too. Okay.